The day he hit his own mother. Jason Miller was 26 years old, but life had already carved deep cracks into his soul. He had dreams once. Big ones. He wanted to be a photographer. To travel. To prove he was more than just a small town boy. Instead, he was still living in the same run-down apartment in Ohio, jobless, restless, angry at the world. The only person still standing beside him was his mother, Susan Miller, a 52-year-old nurse who worked double shifts at the local hospital. Her feet hurt every night. Her back never stopped aching. But she never complained. Because she had only one prayer left in her life: let my son stand on his feet. Susan had raised Jason alone. His father had left when he was 5. Not with an explanation. Not with a goodbye. Just gone. She cleaned houses during the day, worked night shifts at a clinic, and still came home to help him with school homework. When he failed college, she hugged him instead of shouting. When he lost job after job, she cooked his favorite meals instead of blaming him. But love, when taken for granted, turns into pressure. And pressure turns into anger. It was a rainy Tuesday evening. Jason was lying on the couch, scrolling on his phone. A half-empty pizza box on the table. Susan walked in, her uniform wrinkled, her eyes tired. She didn't shout. She didn't accuse. She just asked, gently, "Susan, Jason, did you call that company I told you about?" Jason didn't even look up. "Jason, not today." Susan sighed softly. "Susan, baby, you said that yesterday." Jason closed his eyes. "Jason, stop talking like I'm a kid." Susan sat down slowly. "My son, I'm not talking like you're a kid. I'm talking because I'm scared." Jason opened his eyes. "Scared of what?" Susan swallowed. "Susan, that one day, I won't be here, and you still won't know how to survive without me." The room went quiet. Jason's face hardened. "Jason, so now I'm a burden, right? Is that it?" Susan's eyes filled with tears. "Susan, no. You were never a burden. You were the reason I kept breathing." Jason stood up abruptly. "You think I don't hate myself already?" he shouted. "You think I need you reminding me I'm nothing?" Susan stood up too, her voice still trembling, but not angry. "Screaming at me won't make your life better, Jason." Jason laughed bitterly. "Oh, now you're giving me life advice?" Susan shook her head. "I'm giving you a mother's worry." Jason stepped forward. "I didn't ask for your worry." Susan whispered. "You didn't have to. I carried it the day you were born." His jaw tightened. "You treat me like I'm broken." Susan replied with tears. "I treat you like someone I can't afford to lose." The air felt heavy. Too heavy. Jason's chest rose and fell fast. Susan stepped closer. Her voice cracked. "Jason, I only want you to live." And then, his hand moved. A sharp sound filled the room. Not loud, but eternal. Susan staggered back. Her hand slowly touched her cheek. Not because of the pain, but because the boy she once held during storms had just become one. Jason's eyes widened. His whole body froze. I didn't." His voice shook. Susan looked at him and whispered, "Did you feel strong just now?" Jason fell to his knees. Tears finally broke free. "I didn't mean it. I swear. I swear I didn't." Susan didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just sat down on a chair. Her voice, broken but steady. You didn't mean to hurt me, but you didn't stop your hand either. He crawled toward her. I hate myself. I hate who I became. Susan closed her eyes. I didn't raise you to hate yourself. I raised you to fight yourself. Jason sobbed. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry. Her voice almost disappeared. Sorry doesn't erase the moment, but it tells me your heart hasn't died yet. Jason slept on the floor that night. He couldn't look at her, couldn't forgive himself. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw her face. Not angry, not screaming, just disappointed. And that hurt worse than jail ever could. The next morning, Susan made coffee, her cheeks slightly bruised. Jason walked into the kitchen slowly. His voice barely existed. Mom, look at me. Susan lifted her eyes. He collapsed again. I don't deserve you. She whispered back, no child deserves their mother, they're just gifted one. Jason cried harder. I promise I'll change. Susan looked at him deeply, then said the words that shook him, I forgive you. Because if I don't, you'll carry this forever. He held her hands, trembling. I will never forgive myself. She placed a hand on his head. And that's why I still believe you'll become better. Years passed. Jason changed his life. He worked. He helped others. He even spoke in addiction and anger support groups. But every time he saw his mother's hands, he remembered that day. Because the worst pain isn't what you do to someone. It's what you have to live with after. Some sons grow up thinking strength is in rage. Because no one ever taught them how to handle pain properly. They are told, don't cry. They are told, be a man. They are told, anger makes you powerful. So they grow up believing that raising their voice is the same as raising their worth, and breaking things is the same as fixing their lives. But anger never makes a man strong. It only makes him loud. A boy who doesn't know how to express sadness turns that sadness into anger. Not because he wants to hurt others, but because he doesn't know where else to put the pain. And slowly, that anger becomes his language. But true strength is swallowing your anger before it swallows your soul. Because anger doesn't leave after the moment. It stays. It sleeps with you. It follows you into your relationships. It changes how you talk. It changes how you love. It changes how you react. When a man learns to stop, breathe, and walk away instead of exploding, he is not being weak. He is saving his soul from becoming poisoned by his own fire. True strength is staying silent when you could destroy. Walking away when you could break. Crying alone instead of hurting someone who doesn't deserve it. Because every time you hold your anger back, you are choosing love over ego, healing over pride, growth over destruction. Because the hands that raised you should never be the hands you raise against them. Those hands fed you, held you when you were sick, wiped your tears when you were weak, worked when you slept, prayed when you didn't even know how to speak. Those hands carried your weight before you even learned to carry your own. And one day, those hands will shake. They will grow old. They will slow down. And you will realize they never raised against you. So how could you raise yours against them? Hurting a parent in anger doesn't just hurt them. It breaks something inside you too. Something that might never fully heal. Because your biggest regret will never be the fight. It will be the moment you didn't stop your hand in time. If this story meant something to you, if even one line made you stop and feel, then just take a second and like it, share it with someone you care about. And if you're new here, stay with us, subscribe. We're building a space with real stories, real feelings, real hearts. And tell me in the comments, did this story touch you too?